What's up, EV Clan? Alex Espion here, and welcome back to my Pokemon Gold Randomizer Nuzlocke. In today's episode, we will be fighting, finally, Volkner. I entered this town in episode 3, and then at the end of episode 3, I said I was going to be fighting Volkner. And then towards the end of episode 3, I said I was going to be fighting Volkner, finishing up the episode by fighting him. And then I started going up Sprout Tower. And then the entirety of the last episode, episode 4, was us going up Sprout Tower, so I didn't actually get to fight him in that episode either, but now finally we are here in his gym, and we are going to fight him today. Assuming we do not lose before we get to him, of course. Let me see if you are good enough to face Volkner. So I should have probably bought potions, but I don't know how much money we have to actually buy potions. I should have bought potions before we got in here, but I just didn't. I don't know if we have enough money. I might as well, though, go out and check before I fight Volkner with no potions to my name, because that sounds like a bad idea. I never want to walk into any battle with a gym leader in a Nuzlocke without at least some healing item, and while I do understand that I have a healing item in my backpack, and it is a healing item that does 200 health, heals 200 health. I don't remember what it's called. But, I'd like to save a healing item that powerful for later on in the game when I feel we really need it, and I don't think we really need it when our highest level, when our Pokemon with highest HP has 45. At least I hope. At least I think that Henrietta is our Pokemon with highest HP, because I don't know why a Hoppip would have more HP than a Pidgeotto, even if our Pidgeotto is one level below the Hoppip. This can't be true. But hopefully, that will not be the case for long. The Hoppip part, not the one level below. I hope that Juan will not be a Hoppip for long, because Hoppip should evolve next level, I think. The keyword is guts. Those here are training night and day to become bird Pokemon masters. Come on! But, yeah, if you missed the last episode, and you saw episodes before that, and you're wondering what happened to my starter, Juan the Mareep, and why is there now a Hoppip named Juan? Did I catch another Pokemon and name it the same thing as my starter? Nope. My starter evolved, because I forgot that, I set it to randomized evolutions, and so the whole reason why I picked Juan, the Mareep, I mean, as my starter, was entirely, like, it was a stupid reason, because I picked Mareep because I wanted an Ampharos, because I really like Ampharos, and Ampharos is, like, probably arguably the strongest Pokemon out of the options I was presented, just because, like, Scizor is not bad, don't get me wrong, but, like, 4 times weak to fire is rough. That is rough in a Nuzlocke. 4 times weakness in a Nuzlocke is rough. So, I'd say given my options, not only was Ampharos probably the best, but also just my favorite Pokemon out of the options. The other option was a Vileplume, and Vileplume isn't bad. It might even be better than Scizor, I don't really know. Would I rather have, like, a 4 times weakness or a bunch of, like, normal super effectiveness on my Pokemon is? I don't really know, it's hard to say. Because Scizor, I feel, doesn't have that many weaknesses besides obviously the 4 times one. Gah! Meanwhile, Vileplume is a poison and grass type, and grass already has enough weaknesses, but poison also adds psychic to it as well. And, if my previous Nuzlocke, randomized Nuzlocke, is anything to judge off of, we will probably be running into a lot of Mewtwo's in this series, because if you didn't watch the Pokemon Red randomizer, I ran into a lot of Mewtwo's in that series, and I even ended up fighting one in my fight against the champion, my rival. In case you've never played Pokemon Red, I'm sure I didn't need to preface champion as my rival. I'm sure I did not need to say that, because I'm sure a lot of you know how the plot of Pokemon Red goes, and I'm sure you know the twist at the ending that the champion is actually a rival, but they are. In case you're not familiar with that somehow, what are you doing on a channel that plays a lot of Pokemon? But I mean, maybe you're just trying to learn, so in which case, I'm happy to teach you all about Pokemon through my terrible gameplay that is not even, like, that should not really, honestly, be used as a method of teaching yourself about Pokemon, because, I'm very bad at this game. I'm worse at other games, mind you. Other video games, I'm much worse at. Because Pokemon at least doesn't require a whole lot of skill. It requires thinking, and I'm pretty good at thinking. Not very good at skill, pretty good at thinking. So, I mean, I guess I'm better at it than, like, things that require quick reflexes and all. But I'm still not that good at Pokemon, to the point where you should be, like, I guess, looking to me for, like, how to play Pokemon, like, advice on how Pokemon is played, what you should do in situations, because, I mean, I think you would be better off looking to, like, Alpharad, or, like, Wolfie-Glick or some crap. I don't know. I don't know how good Wolfie-Glick is, but I know he does, like, competitive Pokemon, and he's, like, very well known in the scene of competitive Pokemon. So, I'd imagine he's very good at Pokemon. I don't know if, like, competitive really translates to casual skill. I don't know if you're looking for competitive or casual skill, but if you're looking for competitive skill, you're definitely in the wrong place. Anyway, I'm Volkner, the Violet Pokemon Gym Leader. People say you can clip flying-type Pokemon's wings with a jolt of electricity. Yes, if only we had an electric type. That would have been great. I mean, I guess your Pokemon are randomized, too, so... just like anyone else's in this playthrough. So I guess you don't have flying-type Pokemon anyway. But, still makes me upset that we no longer have an electric type, because I miss Mareep already. I won't allow such insults to bird Pokemon. I'll show you the real power of the magnificent bird Pokemon. But yeah, I'd just been saying the whole time we had Mareep about how I wanted it to evolve, and I couldn't wait till it evolved, because Mareep is not that strong, and we really needed it to evolve into a Flaffy, so that way it would be stronger. Not realizing that when it evolved, it might not be the best thing in the world, because now it has evolved, which was what I've been waiting for, and it is a Hoppip. Silly me, I'd been asking for it to evolve for all this time, without even realizing that it would not be evolving into what it normally evolves into, because I randomized evolutions. Sometimes randomized evolutions are... Okay, randomized evolutions are always really cool, but sometimes they're a lot more helpful than other times. Sometimes, like, if you have a Magikarp, then that's... If you have, like a Metapod, right? I guess Magikarp isn't a good example, because Magikarp does evolve into Gyarados, and Gyarados is not bad. Gyarados is even, like, very good in early generations. Because, in general, it's good in all generations, I should say. But, like, in early generations especially, it is very good. It is, like, especially good, just because there's not a lot of competition for a Gyarados. Gyarados has high attack, and it has a good moveset. Just genuinely a good Pokemon. I don't know if Gyarados... I mean, I guess Gyarados has gotten better over generations, too. But, like, the fact is that, like, in Gen 1 and, like, early generations, Gyarados had less to compete with. Now it has more to compete with. It had less to compete with, but it was a worse Pokemon, because obviously, like, it was a Water-type Pokemon, and it was a physical attacker, you know? So that's not very good in early generations, because all Water-type moves are special. So, like, in early generations, it was not that good of a Pokemon, but it didn't have a lot of competition. So, comparatively to other things, it was good, just because there wasn't a lot for it to compete with. But, like, now, in future generations, it's much better, because, like, physical special split has happened. But it's just... So now it's much better in future generations. But now there's a lot more to compete with, you know? There's a lot more good Water-type Pokemon out there. So yeah, it's a better Water-type Pokemon nowadays than it was before. But now there are also just a lot of other good Water-type Pokemon for it to compete with. The point where, like, Gyarados isn't nearly as busted comparatively to everything else as it was in early games, even though now it's a much better Pokemon. It's a much better Pokemon now, but comparatively to everything else, it's actually less busted because there's so many good Water-type options now. Darn! My dad's cherished bird Pokemon! Alright, take this. It's the official Pokemon League Zephyr badge. What is Zephyr? What does that mean? What is Zephyr badge? Why is it called a Zephyr badge? What does Zephyr mean? I don't know. Zephyr badge raises the attack power of Pokemon. It also enables Pokemon to use Flash if they have it, anytime. Here, take this too. And I received TM31. Don't know what that is off the top of my head. Not at the point where I am able to identify TM moves by number just yet, but I'm sure with how much Pokemon I play, I will soon be able to get there. By using a TM, a Pokemon will instantly learn a new move. Think before you act. A TM can be used only once. TM31 contains Mega Horn. Okay, that is not terrible. Also not particularly good, because in the Nuzlocke I'd like to be more certain of my moves. And given how low the accuracy is compared to, like, your average everyday 100% accurate move, because I'd say most moves are 100% accurate. There are definitely a good amount of moves that aren't, but I'd say that there are more 100% accurate moves than moves that are not. Which is good, because that makes fighting Pokemon battling a lot less annoying. It'd be a lot more annoying if you were missing, like, pretty much all your moves. If pretty much all your moves could miss. Hello, Alex. We found something about the egg. Sorry, let me give him my nerd voice that I gave him in the first episode. My assistant is at the Pokemon Center in Violet City. Could you talk to him? Click. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that information. Thank you for directing me as to where I'm supposed to go next. It said assistance in Violet City. Violet City. I think I said Violent City. I think it sounded like Violent City. I meant Violet City. Assistant is in Violet City, which is where we are now, I believe. So therefore, he should be in one of these buildings around here. I just don't know which building it would be. So I guess we'll just look around until we find someone who looks like Professor Elm's assistant. So I'm guessing we're looking for someone with, like, a Pokemon professor-looking sprite. Someone who looks like a nerd, or a man of science, even, if you want to be generous. Okay, it should be this guy. I don't remember this guy being here. Plus, he looks like a nerd, or a man of science if you want to be generous. Alex, long time no see. Professor Elm asked me to find you. He has another favor to ask. Would you take the Pokemon egg? Sure. Alex received egg. Okay. That is another Pokemon added to the team, I think. Can I hatch that? We discovered that a Pokemon will not hatch until it grows in the egg. It also has to be with other active Pokemon to hatch. Alex, you're the only person we can rely on. Can't you find, like, another trainer in this world? Like, aren't there, like, other trainers that would be willing to carry around an egg for the sake of science? I'm really the only person in the world who can carry around this egg? I mean, I'm not opposed to it, just because, like, I need Pokemon on this team. But at the same time, I feel like you could go to other people. There are other people in this world who would be able to who would desire to carry this egg. I don't think you need to pull anyone's arm, really. It's a free Pokemon, eventually. Anyway, please call Professor Elm when that egg hatches. Will do. And by that I mean I will not do, because I don't know how to call people off the top of my head. But, I'm sure he will call me. I'm sure he will somehow know and call me. There we go, there is our egg in the party now. It does not look like eggs do in future Pokemon games, where they have, like, that distinct yellowish-white look to them. It's like a white, it's mostly white. It looks pretty white, but they have, like, a yellowish tint to them. And then it has, like, green spots. It does not have the design yet in this game. At least this, like, base sprite here does not. Maybe if we go in, it'll have, like, a sprite that looks like that. It does have, like, the yellowish color, but it does not have the green spots yet. Right now, it's just much darker yellow spots. Wonder what's inside. It needs more time, though. Okay. So that egg will hatch eventually. I'd imagine, yeah. It must be randomized, surely, just like every other egg in every other Pokemon game when you do a randomizer. Juan did not evolve at level 16. That is a shame, because that means that we have to endure carrying around a Hoppip for longer. I also don't want to put Henrietta in front, because then Henrietta's going to be getting all the XP, and I want Hoppip to continue getting the majority of the XP until they are no longer a Hoppip. Because I don't want Juan to be a Hoppip for very long. I want Juan to frankly be a Hoppip for as little time as they can possibly be a Hoppip. And now that I know that Hoppip does not evolve at level 16, my next guess is going to be 22. That seems correct? About 32, okay. Violet City to Azalea Town. Okay, so I'm guessing the next I have to go to Azalea Town. Either that or going the complete wrong way. You have some good Pokemon there. It must be from the training you gave them around Violet City. The training at the gym must have been especially helpful. As a souvenir of Violet City, take this. It increases the power of Grass-type moves. Alex received Miracle Seed. Okay, I mean, that would be helpful if I expected my Hoppip to remain a Hoppip. But, hey, I mean, we don't know it's not going to be helpful. Maybe the Hoppip will evolve into another Grass-type that is much better, and then we'll be able to use that. But for now, our Hoppip will not remain a Hoppip, so I don't know if we're going to be able to use that, really. Just because our Hoppip does not have a Grass-type move. And I don't know if our Hoppip will learn a Grass-type move until it evolves into... before it evolves into not a Hoppip. So, could be absolutely useless to us until a long time from now. Could be useful to us very soon, if Hoppip learns a Grass-type move very soon. You never know. But for now, at this very moment, it is useless to us, unfortunately. We'll see when it becomes useful, if ever. Your experiences in Violet City should be useful for your journey. I'm sure they will be, because they leveled up my Pokemon a decent amount. And every level counts. Yeah, we are going to keep Juan in front for now. I know that Henrietta is lower level, so we should be giving Henrietta a little opportunity for XP before we get Juan too much higher level than Henrietta. But I want Juan to evolve soon. So I'm sorry if I'm putting like Henrietta's levels on the back burner for now. I'm sorry if I'm not like paying attention to Henrietta's levels. Sorry if I'm not like raising her up appropriately. Sorry if I'm like over leveling Juan by comparison to Henrietta. But that's just because I want Juan to evolve as soon as possible, so we can stop using a friggin' Hoppip, because Hoppip is frail, and I'm not confident about using a Hoppip in a Nuzlocke long term. I haven't seen you around before, so you think you are pretty tough? I mean, I think so. Obviously, I'm much less tough now that my Mareep has become a Hoppip. It is a sufficient downgrade. However, I still think I'm tough enough to defeat you in battle. We want Juan out of here. As a Mareep, Ponyta would not have been a problem for Juan, but now that Juan is a Hoppip, that is a Pokemon that is Fire-type. Well, it would have been a Pokemon that is Fire-type regardless, but that is a Pokemon that's type is super effective against R-type. So, since it is a Fire-type, it probably has a Fire-type move, which means we probably should be getting out of there with Hoppip. So we're going to switch to Henrietta instead, which is not necessarily well-equipped to deal with Ponyta, but they are well-equipped enough. At least they have neutral attacks compared to... I mean, I guess Hoppip also had neutral attacks, but, like, at least they are not weak to fire like Hoppip was. That makes them much better equipped than Hoppip was to deal with that Ponyta. They're still not amazingly well-equipped, just because they're not a water type. But, you know, it'll do. It's not a super strong Pokemon, and it's also lower level than us. So, yeah, it's fine. Lower level than us by a decent amount, too. Level 6 versus level 15, yeah, Henrietta obviously one-shotted the Ponyta. Makes sense. Henrietta is now level 16. I feel like this is around the level where Henrietta would actually be evolving into a Pidgeotto if they had started out as a Pidgey, but they started out as a Pidgeotto, so we did not need to worry about leveling them up in order to make them evolve. You're strong. Thank you. But yeah, level 22, I don't know why, level 22 sounds right to me in terms of when Hoppip evolves. I don't know if there's anything on this side of the rock, like the left side. I don't know if I like skip past it, but I'm Persian. Okay, that's not terrible. It's not good, but like I've used the Persian before. It wasn't the most painful experience in the world. Let's go with Sunspore. First of all, to paralyze it. That'll make it easier to catch this thing. I don't know how many Pokeballs we have right now. I don't think it's a lot. But hopefully we can just like weaken this thing down to a decent enough health to the point where it is easy to catch it, so that we are able to catch it with the low amount of Pokeballs that we have. Frankly, I should have bought Pokeballs before I continued on down this route, but silly me being the silly person that I am, I did not. So we are just going to have to work with what we got, which is 9 Pokeballs and a Moonball. That's not actually too terrible. Maybe I got Pokeballs more recently than I thought. But yeah, with 9 Pokeballs and a Moonball, we should be able to catch this thing. I have high hopes. Because it is only in the yellow. Red would be better. Especially for a fully evolved Pokemon. We want it in the red. But it is at least in the yellow and paralyzed. I feel like in the yellow and paralyzed should be equal opportunity to catch it, if not better, than if it was in the red. Obviously, in the red and paralyzed would be much better, but we don't really have the capability to do that, just because nothing we do right now will not kill it. So hopefully this will be enough. I'd imagine yellow plus paralysis will be enough, because this Pokemon's relatively low level, and I get that it's fully evolved. I get that, but at the same time, it should not be this difficult. It should not be breaking out of this many Pokeballs. I'm starting to get a little bit upset because I need another Pokemon on this team, and this Persian is not getting caught. Come on, you're just a Persian. Is Persian's catch rate really that bad? Is it really that low? I don't think it would be. It's a normal type Pokemon, and it's not even that good of a normal type Pokemon. Like, normal type Pokemon aren't even that good to begin with, but like, this isn't even like a good normal type Pokemon. This is just a normal type Pokemon that's like okay at best. This is an okay Pokemon. Why is its catch rate so bad? Why is it so low? I don't get it. Get in the ball. Get in the ball. Get in the ball. Get in the ball. Thank you. Thank you. My gosh. Why was that such a hassle? I did not expect Persian to be so hard to catch. I never caught a Persian, so I guess I wouldn't know. I've only caught Persians when they were Meowths. Yeah, I said Meowth weird. But, I guess Meowths, I guess that would be how you pronounce it, Meowths? I guess Meowths would be better, but Meowths sounds right for some reason. I don't know why I placed that much emphasis on, like, the Meowths, but I like Meowths better than Meowths for some reason. Many adore it for its sophisticated air. However, it will lash out and scratch for little reason. That is the Persian classy cat Pokemon. I never knew that it was the classy cat Pokemon, that's funny. And it's also funny that despite its species name of classy cat Pokemon, it has a temper to it. And it lashes out, scratching, for basically no reason. That's funny. It's irony at its finest in Pokemon, my friends. But what shall we call this one? It is another girl, which means still no boys' names on our team. Justified. Obviously, still no justification for boys' names on our team. Obviously, we have one, just because of a mistake. But, frankly, we should have had Pokemon that were all named girls' names, because we've had all Pokemon that were girls so far. So, let's see. Girls' names, girls' names, girls' names. Let's go with... I don't think I've had a Pokemon named Rachel yet. Let's go with Rachel. Rachel's solid. Rachel's a solid name. That's definitely because I watched a YouTube video the other day that had, like, a person named Rachel in it. But... I mean, whatever is gonna motivate me to come up with names, because I'm not very good at just coming up with names off the top of my head. I mean, hence, I don't name Pokemon, like, my own names. I name them, like, names that already exist, because, like, whenever I come up with my own name, it's bad. But, like, even when I have to just, like, come up with a name that already exists, I'm still bad at it, because I always default to, like, the same few. It's, like, just goes to show, in order to come up with, like, a normal name, like, in a timely fashion, I need to either, like, it needs to either be, like, it needs to either be a good day, like, my lucky day, where I'm somehow, like, much more competent than usual, or I need to have, like, seen something that, like, jotted my memory of a name, you know? Like, I was only able to get to Rachel so fast because I'd seen something that had, like, the name Rachel in it the other day. But, like, I guarantee if I had not seen that video that had, like, the name Rachel in it, I probably would have been there for, like, another, I don't know, like, 5 minutes just trying to think of a name, because I have just no inspiration. I'd have no inspiration, and I wouldn't be able to come up with a name just because, like, I don't know, my brain is just that bad at coming up with original things, even when they're not even original things, even when they're just, like, names taken from other people, even if they're already existing names. I still can't come up with, like, an already existing name, because my brain is that bad at coming up with original things. Even just the idea that it's, like, original to name a Pokemon this, that a Pokemon has never been that name, is too original for me. Even the idea that I've never named a Pokemon that is too original for me. Because even just, like, the fact that, like, it just being a name that already exists is not unoriginal enough. No. Even the fact that it is a Pokemon that I've never named a Pokemon that before is too original for me. I still struggle to come up with a name, even if it is an unoriginal name, just because I've never named a Pokemon that before. That's how unoriginal I am. Yeah, and you know... Pardon? Battle? I'm on the phone. Oh, alright. But make it fast. Will do, miss. And then once we're done defeating you, we are going to wrap up the episode. So hopefully you do not cause me some immense pain of the emotional variety before I end off the episode, because that will be very sad ending off the episode. And it does not look like you will be doing so, because you are sending out a Caterpie. Unless this Caterpie pulls out some crazy move that I wasn't expecting and mops the floor with my Hoppip, who I don't want to be a Hoppip, but I would love to not die. Unless it pulls out something that kills Juan here, somehow. I think we'll be fine against this Caterpie, and I don't think I will be suffering greatly emotionally at the end of this episode. It's always good to end off episodes on a high note. You always want to end off your episode on a high note, because then you just feel good, you feel like, oh, that was a nice episode, we made progress today, that was great. If a Pokemon dies and then you end off the episode, it's like, that's a bad note to end off an episode on. No one wants their Pokemon to die and then they have to end off the episode. No one wants to end off the episode in that mood, you know? So I prefer just, like, to not lose a Pokemon before I end off the episode. Good thing Zoe didn't send out anything crazy. Take it easy, that's mean! Sorry, Zoe, but it was either you or me. That is how it is in this Nuzlocke world, guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more. Thank you, Eevee Clan, so much for watching. And this is Alex Espion, signing off.